Hello guys, Tops here. Today I have something special for you. And I have asked myself over and over again, what do I do with a bro that has not that great melee defense? Overall I think this one, he high rolled, but let's say you have a bro that has like 20 melee defense at level 11 or something like that. But otherwise he has good melee skill and the rest of the stats are fine too. So what do you do with such a bro? And I think I have found one solution that worked quite well for me. So, I made him into a shield and hammer guy. And you may ask yourself, why do you do that? Well, it's pretty simple. Shields are OP. So, if you have a problem with melee defense, give your bro a shield. So, normally you would give somebody a shield who is a tank, and like everybody else becomes a two-hander or a one-handed duelist, but a shield hammer guy, normally you would say is low damage, but I think I made him work. And I made him nimble, and I gave him Killing Frenzy Berserk, Crippling Strikes Executioner. And the thing behind this is, you have really high armor pen, and the hammer does always at least 10 hit points with a normal attack. So with Crippling Strikes Executioner, that means you will injure some opponents, maybe, on the first hit. Because you have like really high armor pen and armor effectiveness. So you are good at destroying armor, but you're also good at injuring your opponents, so you can proc Executioner for additional damage. And you're also insanely defensive with a shield, right? I took Steel Bro because in the beginning I wanted to Battle Forge him. I made him nimble. I think you need the fatigue to make this build actually work, so instead of Steel Bro I would go for Shield Expert on this build. And I think nimble, you could Battle Forge this build, but I think nimble is kind of the better way to go, because you're fairly tanky with your shield, and you really need the fatigue to swing the hammer, because the hammer is a really fatigue intensive weapon. You could kind of go a more defensive route on this build and say, I don't like Crippling Strikes or Executioner. I would actually go for something like Indom, maybe Lone Wolf, make him Fortified Mind, make him kind of a shield tank that is able to Indom, but also able to destroy armor and able to do damage. And that's kind of the point that I want to make. This build does a surprising amount of damage to some opponents, especially because you, like with Nimble and the shield, you basically don't die to like most opponents. So you can kind of send this guy against Orc Warrior or against the Hedge Knight or something, and he's gonna slowly but surely kill this guy. This build is really strong against these single entities that are Battle Forged and that are really troublesome for bros that have like only 30 melee defense or something. But this guy, he can tank them, and he can destroy them. Because he destroys armor, then he goes to the hit points and he breaks them, kills them. That's kind of the idea behind the build. I think there's a lot of ways to play this. You can go for gifted, quick hands if you like that. There is more utility in this build as well. You could go give him quick hands and backpack a reached weapon on this build too. Like, I think that this is actually a pretty flexible build to have somebody who's just specialized in destroying armor and 1v1ing tanky opponents, but without being a Battle Forge or a nimble tank, just a normal guy with hammer and shield. And I think this build is fairly low key. You can make this out of lowborns as well, with like low melee attack if you give them fast adaptation. So it could be also used as an early game tempo build. So that's one thing. Your gear is pretty cheap, like a normal shield does you well. Nimble armor, like normal brigand gear, is okay. These hammers, like you can use the brigand hammers that are tier 2. They are getting commonly dropped and upgrade to a tier 3 when you find them. So this is a build that is like easy to make, and I think it has a good tempo application. It's good early, easy to build. The gear is basically what you get for free, and a lot of flexibility in this build. There are a million variants you can build this. You can go for Fearsome, Headhunter, go for Dodge, you can do 9 lives, Fortified Mind, Backs and Belts, throw nets and bombs and whatnot, recover, adrenaline. You can do so much stuff with that. And that's kind of like, I need to do more testing with this build and incorporate it more into my play as well. But I think this build has a lot of potential because of the flexibility. Destroying armor with a bro that is not, normally wouldn't be able to be alive on his own. I think this build is especially good for something like a Wildman, like bros who have high fatigue and HP, but can have negative defense. So just slapping a good shield on a Wildman and just abusing the fatigue and hit points with fast rotation hammer mastery to destroy armor and cripple your opponents is something I would recommend that you try out. I like this build, and again, very flexible, can do your own versions of this as you like, incorporate into your playstyle. And thank you for watching, guys. If you liked that video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I have a lot of build videos as well. This is more a little bit of an experimental one. And I have a complete build guide. I also do almost daily live streams. So if you want to join the show, I'm there for you. Thanks and bye-bye for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.